Husband goes abroad, daughter-in-law stays with father-in-law. Then the unthinkable happens, a story of infidelity, a romance. Introducing the narrator, daughter-in-law around 28, in a conservative but emotionally important household in India. Her husband goes abroad to work for financial stability, promising to return in 2 years. She stays behind with her father-in-law, a quiet, traditional man in his late 50s, respected in the community. Her mother-in-law had passed away a few years ago, leaving the house feeling empty. At first, their relationship is distant but respectful. She performs her duties while maintaining her distance. She feels no love, no companionship, and growing loneliness. The hint at the beginning of small kindnesses from the father-in-law, helping in the kitchen, sharing food, talking about life. Emotional vulnerability and unmet needs lead to attachment. Predict emotional dependency that turns into desire. Show the gradual shift from emotional support to emotional intimacy. Highlight how the lines between duty and desire begin to blur. Their conversation deepens. He listens without judgment. She trusts him in a way she never did with her husband. He begins to meticulously compliment her cooking, appearance, and character. She feels noticed and corrected. One night during a power outage, they sit outside and talk for hours about their regrets, dreams, and pain. She begins to await his presence, finding comfort in his voice and company. He touches her hand lightly during a shared moment. Both hesitate but neither pull away. Internal conflict arises. She feels shy but also an uncontrollable sense of connection. Her thoughts begin to become romantic, even though she constantly reminds herself that this is wrong. Emotional infidelity precedes physical betrayal. Justification begins in the mind before the act. Sympathy becomes attraction. A festive night. She's dressed in a sari that her husband sent. The in-laws are clearly impressed. They eat dinner together, light oil lamps, and exchange lingering glances. The intimacy is indescribable but thick in the air. As she begins to clean, he helps her, hands touching, bodies close. Heavy breathing. Tension flares. Trembling fingers, closed eyes, the sound of breathing, the silence of the house. A heavy silence follows. He doesn't speak for a while. She breaks down in tears. Not because of guilt alone, but because she feels alive for the first time in years. He apologizes but doesn't regret it. Emotional confusion prevails. Was it love? Was it betrayal? Was it a survival need? Moral conflict and emotional trauma follow the act. The physical betrayal is wrapped in emotional despair. Explore the aftermath. Highlight the long-term emotional consequences, the secrets, and the duality of guilt and desire. Life returns to normal, but nothing feels the same. The in-laws fall silent. A respectful distance is re-established, but the unspoken bond remains. Her husband calls frequently, planning his return. She begins to feel anxious rather than excited. She tries to convince herself that it was a one-time mistake, but her heart keeps revisiting that night. Rumors start in the neighborhood because of how often they are seen together. She goes crazy. One day he gently tells her, "You deserve love, not guilt." Eventually the husband returns. She hugs him, but inside she feels nothing. The story continues as she sits silently at night, watching her father-in-law from across the room. One thought remains. We broke something sacred, but it was the only time I felt okay. The principle of infidelity is covered. The long-term emotional consequences of betrayal. Living in secrecy, torn between duty and personal truth. Let me know if you want me to write a full story based on this outline, or to further customize the emotional tone or cultural depth.